Joining me now, Admiral James Stavridis, former Supreme Allied Commander at NATO and now an MSNBC Chief International Affairs Analyst. He's also author of To Risk It All, 9 Conflicts and the Crucible of Decision. And with me in studio, Kevin Barron, Executive Editor of Defense One. Gentlemen, thank you both very much for coming back to the Sunday show. Admiral Stavridis, let me start with you. China's proposed peace plan. Is anyone taking it seriously? Do you take this gesture seriously?
No, I really don't. I think it's China trying to get ahead of potential behavior of providing weapons to the Russians. In other words, if you're thinking about moving drones, artillery, ammunition, I mean, China is just what the doctor ordered for Putin. If you're thinking about doing that, you're going to kind of obfuscate your behavior. You're going to throw out this peace plan. Having said all of that, I would urge President Zelensky to take a meeting, take a call, talk to President Xi, make your points forcefully, and potentially, over time, China could put pressure on Russia that could get us to the point of negotiation. But is this going to be some deus ex machina that solves the problem? President Xi, Nobel Peace Prize? I don't think so, Jonathan.
You know, Kevin, let's listen to U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, what she told Andrea Mitchell about China and Ukraine. Listen.
It certainly has been made clear to the Chinese, from President Biden to President Xi. Secretary Blinken made that clear to Wang Yi in Munich this past week, that China should not get involved in this war in the sense of providing lethal weapons to the Russians. That it would be a game changer, and it would be something we would have serious concerns about. They've not done that so far, and we hope that the messaging to them gets through.
Kevin, you were in Munich and you heard the U.S. warnings firsthand, both from the Vice President and the Secretary of State. Behind the scenes, were those concerns equally shared or even believed?
Well, so I wrote that behind the scenes there was a lot of snickering, a lot of whispering, a lot of exasperation, mainly because this generic promise that all the leaders are making, which is great, which is fine, they deserve credit for a year into the war. NATO is allied, NATO is unified. The constant drumbeat of as long as it takes, as long as it takes. Munich is a conference of security professionals, and it ranges from academics to think tankers to former defense officials, current officials, military leaders from all over. To a T, all of them just kind of they shake their head a little bit and they just say it's not enough. That either there's an attitude of the West can win this tomorrow if they would just give enough and call Putin's bluff and kick them out of the country. Or if they don't do that, they're just prolonging this war unnecessarily. They're not letting Ukraine win. There's going to be a peace agreement of some kind. But between now and then, it's just unnecessary death and unnecessary economic drain. And it's easy to say these things when you're the backbencher, when you're the armchair quarterback. You're not the president or the prime minister. But that was really the sense. There's just a whole lot of impatience that's beginning to creep from the east into the west.
Well, speaking of, not giving enough to Ukraine, and speaking of the president, Admiral Stavridis, I want you to listen to what President Biden told ABC News on Friday about whether Zelensky needs F-16s.
Look, we're sending him what our seasoned military thinks he needs now. He needs tanks, he needs artillery, he needs air defense, including another HIMARS. There's things he needs now that we're sending him to put him in a position to be able to make gains this spring and this summer going into the fall.
You don't think he needs F-16s now?
No, he doesn't need F-16s now.
Quite a blunt statement there by the president, Admiral Stavridis. Do you agree with him?
I do not, and I'll give you an equally blunt statement. We have metered out assistance. We've been very incremental. I can understand the rationale. We, quote, don't want to escalate. We don't want to end up in a NATO-Russia war. I got all that. We're kind of past that point, in my view. So kudos to the administration for stepping up and providing tanks, armored personnel carrier. Kudos to the Europeans for the Leopard tanks. kudos for the ammunition, the artillery. It's still not enough. So you've got to look at where the potential additional capability is, and it's in the air. At this moment, if you ask President Zelensky his number one desire, he would say to close the skies over Ukraine. In order to do that, he needs more fighters. And I'll close here, Jonathan, by saying some say, oh, it'll take too long to train the Ukrainians to fly the F-16. I don't think so. We're not trying to train Jonathan Capehart to fly an F-16, who's never been a pilot. We're taking highly seasoned pilots with 1,000 combat hours in MiG-29s, the most motivated pilots on earth, because they're going to be defending their families, their children, their parents, their elders, their cities. I could learn pretty damn fast how to fly an F-16 if I already knew how to fly a MiG-29. I think they can be trained in 8 weeks to fly that aircraft. It would bring an awful lot of capability. Put that alongside the armor, you've got a real combat package.
Kevin, last question to you. The president, he's refused in the past to give specific aid, and then eventually ends up providing it to the Ukrainians. Do you think the same will hold true when it comes to the fighter jets? Is this a pattern that Ukraine is banking on?
There's no reason not to think it won't. I mean, it's like you said, first it was the HIMARS, and then we got to tanks. Now F-16s is the next, shiny new object, the next escalation of weaponry that's being floated and, talked about, as are ATACMS, longer range artillery. The Admiral was part of 7 former NATO Supreme Allied Commanders who signed on to a letter in Defense One, thank you very much, as an op-ed, calling for more, saying the time is now, and the United States needs to, the words they used was dig deeper. And I know what that means. That's a signal straight to this administration. That's a public signal saying 7 of the last 8 Supreme Allied Commanders think you have to do more, you have to do it now, and you have to get out there.